Everyone and welcome. So today we're gonna create a really special application using React.js. So this is the Google search application, which we are going to create using React.js, and we are going to make use of the Google search API. This is a fully functional application. You can search anything you want in this search bar, and then you can sort it according to the categories like news, images, or videos. By default, this is the text which is there inside the search application, but you can type anything here, and you can for example books, and then you can hit enter and it will fetch you the data. It will take some time, and you can see it's showing you the links or the anything related to that particular keyword which you search here is being shown here. You can go to news section, so news will be shown according to that particular keyword. And this is the beautiful loader which we have implemented, like when the data is being fetched from the API, so this loader or spinner will be there. Next we can go to the images section, so there also there's a loader. You can see all the images related to that, and same for the videos section. So this all will be building from scratch today, and we have also provided the functionality of dark mode here, so you can just click on this to make it light, or if you want the dark mode, you can switch to the dark mode. So this is what we are going to build. It is a fully functional application. And now talking about what we are going to use, we are going to make use, of course, React.js, and then the Google search API, and then we are going to use Tailwind CSS for the styling and all. And of course we are going to make use of many other APIs today, and this is going to be a really interesting project. And I hope you will learn something new in this project. And let's start the project. Okay, so now that we are done with the introduction, let's start building the application. Let's start coding. So I hope you have installed VS Code on your system. So we'll be coding on VS Code. That is the IDE or the code editor which we are going to use today in our project. So if you have not installed it, you can install it, or you can use any other one like Atom, Sublime, or any other which you want. There's no problem with it. Things are exactly the same. But the thing is, in VS Code we have some special extensions which we'll be making use of, so I would recommend you to use VS Code. But it's not the end of the world. You can use anything at the last. Okay, so after installing VS Code, if you don't have, install it, and if you have, just open it. So after opening it, you just need to go to the terminal. Don't worry about whatever is showing here. Just listen to what the commands we need to follow. So just click on the terminal and the new terminal, and then you will get a terminal or a command prompt. In your case, for me, I'm using WSL, so I have the Ubuntu terminal here, but you might be using command prompt on Windows, so there's no problem with that. Things are exactly the same. Okay, so here what we need to do is we need to create the React project. Now what is the React project? Near React project is the starting project which is given to us by the React. So all the node modules and all that we need to install, so that everything is installed by that particular command which we are going to type right now. So let me just show you what you need to do. So the very first thing, you need to check in the terminal if you have Node.js and npm installed on your computer, because that is really important for to work in React. You need to have Node.js and npm installed on your computer. So let me type the command to check if it's installed or not. So that command is node hyphen hyphen version, and you can see there's a version of 16.10.0. So this is the version, that means it is successfully installed. Next we will check the npm. So npm hyphen hyphen version, same command, just the name is different. So for that we have 7.24.0. that means that is also successfully installed on our machine. So if the version shows up, that means that is successfully installed. And if it's not, then you need to download it. There's a really simple process. You can just go to the uh, browser, and you can search for nodejs.org, and from after going to this website, you can just download this installer from here, and that installer will install, like you have to install that, and Node.js will be installed on your computer, and along with that npm will also be installed on your computer, like both are installed from this particular installer, so that you don't need to like install it from a separate a website or separate application. So that is given to you. Okay, so moving on, let's go back to our editor, and here now what we'll do is we'll create a React project, and to create that we will need to execute this command, that is the npx space create hyphen react hyphen app, and give the space, and now we will give the name of the application which we want to create. So in my case I have given Google search, and this is completely up to you. You can give any name you want. This is purely a string, or you can give numbers also, no problem, but you don't have to give spaces in between the names. So remember that the name of the project should not have spaces. Hyphen can be given, no problem. So for now we will give the Google search. So this is the name of the application which we have given. Now what will happen is that a project will be created by this name. This is the Google search. So the first thing which will be done is directory or the folder will be created by this name, and inside that particular folder our project will be created, our React project will be created. So this is how things will work. So after typing the command, you need to just hit enter, and the installation process will begin, and it will take around 5 to 6 to even 10 minutes to install, depending on the processing power and internet speed of your system. So that is completely fine. So if it takes a little longer, don't worry, and don't panic. This is a usual process, like it takes a little time. For me also it takes around 5 to 6 minutes. So once it is done, so I will not do it because I have already installed and I've already created the project. So because it takes a little time, so I have already done it. There's no special thing in this. Just type this command and hit enter, and it will create a folder, and inside that folder will be your files. Now what you need to do after you have installed the project, you need to open that particular folder. For me it is like this, Google search, yeah, this folder. So after installing, you need to open that folder with the help of VS Code. So open that folder with VS Code. Let me close this term. So what you will see is, after you open that, you will see some files here and some folders here. So you need to see to this folder. So let me explain you one by one what folder is for what use. So the very first, this is the VS Code. This is generated by VS Code. We have not created it. Next to the node module. So this is the very important folder. All the modules are in this node modules, and don't delete this folder, or don't delete anything inside this folder. Don't need to touch this folder. Next we have the public folder. Inside this only one file is useful, that is the index.html, and that is completely fine to inside this. Only the one file which is important is the index.html. Other things you can delete, there's no problem with that. Next we have the src folder or the source folder. This is the main folder in which we will be working most of the times, like 99% of the time we'll be working inside this folder only, and all the important files, all the root files would be present inside this uh, source folder only. So the main thing here is the app folder. When you come to this folder and you go to app.js, so this is the root file, or this is the main file. Like any component you create, that component will be rendered inside this folder, and after you import it inside this and render it, then only it will be reflected in the browser, and otherwise it will not be reflected, and it will just remain as it is. So this is the we can call it as a base component, or the root component also it can be called, and this is the main component. Next we will have the index.js file. This is also a really important file. Like this is the root component. This is even higher than the app.js. Like this is the top level root component, and after that comes the app.js file. So this is responsible for this sending our data to the index.html and rendering it to the browser. So now you need to do a little bit of cleanup, because you will have some more files and folders here, and I want you to delete those files and folders and clean up a little bit. So so let me tell you what you need to keep and what you don't need to keep. So don't you don't need to touch these folders like node modules public and the source folders. These folders will be as it is. Don't delete anything from them. Don't even touch them. So next, when you come to the source folder, inside this you might be having some files like the report web vitals or test.js or something like that. So just delete them. Just keep whatever is shown here on the screen, just app.js and index.js. And here package log.json and package.json will be there. Don't delete them. And this tailwind.config will come after you install the tailwind css. So that I have already done, so it's there, but I will show you how to do that, so don't worry about that. Okay, so this is that what you will do. And next you will come to the app.js file, and this is the main file. So here there will be some extra piece of code written, but you don't need that code actually. So just delete that code and make your app.js look something like this. So it should look something like this. There will be some extra code, extra imports, extra exports, so that you don't actually need, so just delete them. Okay, so next let us go ahead and test our application, that if it's like correctly successfully installed or not, and then if it's showing everything in the browser or not, if it's rendering things in the browser or not. So let me just do this. So let me type out something. For example, here I will write hello world, we are making Google search using React, and you will save it. And now what we will do is how to how to run the server and how to see our things live on the browser. So that is the question. So I'll give you the answer of that question. You need to type a command inside the terminal. So you can also open the terminal by control and backtick. After that terminal will open. Control will, you can also close it by control backtick, and you can open it by control and backtick. Backtick is the key like above the tab key. That's the backtick. Okay, next what you need to do is you need to navigate to that particular folder, or you need to go to that particular folder where your project is residing. So in my case it is we will do cd means change directory. So we will go projects, and here there is the Google and search. So inside the Google search, what you will do is you will type this command which I'm going to show you. And after that you will be running your server, your own server on the local host on a particular port. Probably it's 3000. So let me do that and show you. Npm space start. So this will start off the server, and there is a problem. Okay, so we had a problem in our package.json. Like when I was building the application, I was testing it out. So I had some changes which we'll do in future, and I like forgot to delete those changes because we will do it again. That's why that was there. But now if you're at npm start, and our server will start normally, I guess. And this will take around like 5 to 10 seconds, or maybe less than that. There is no problem to like that it will take a more time. No, it will be just running in 2 seconds, like we are doing it for the very first time after creating the project. So that's why it takes a little longer. As you can see, our server is running on port 3000. So this is the local host, and this is the URL which is given to us where our server is running. So it is the localhost 3000. So now you can go to the browser, and you can open this URL, and you will see your changes live on the browser. Let me take you to the browser, and here you can see whatever we wrote in the app.js. So that thing is being rendered here. Hello world, we are making Google search using React, and that is it. I think now our app is working fine, and we can move ahead and start building other components inside the application and start installing some more important things. So see you in the next video. Okay, so now we'll be looking at how to use Tailwind CSS, and how to, in the first place, how to install it, and how to implement it inside your project. So for that, we need to go to the browser and go to the official website of Tailwind CSS. And it's just like a CSS framework like Bootstrap and like UI or something like that. So you can just use it for using the pre-built styles and all. So let us go to the official website of Tailwind. Yes, yeah, this is it. So when you come to the website, it will show. This is the website, rapidly build modern websites without ever leaving your HTML. This is the Tailwind CSS which we are going to use today in our project. This is just like Bootstrap, but in this you need to write even less code rather than Bootstrap. So what you need to do is you need to install Tailwind CSS on your system. So for that you need to run this particular command, which is the npm install Tailwind CSS. Just copy this command and you copy it to your clipboard, and then you can just go to your IDE. You can just stop the server and paste your command here. This will be the command which will install Tailwind CSS on your computer. So just type this command and run it. Then Tailwind CSS will be installed on your computer. So next, how to use it. So for that also you need to come to this website only, which is the Tailwind CSS website. So now you can go to the document. So from here you can learn how to use it or how to implement it, or even if you know how to use it, you will see different features which you can implement to your website using this particular framework, CSS framework. Okay, so this is it, and now let's install another package, that is the Krakow. And what Krakow will do, like, it will be responsible for running your app using the Tailwind CSS. Let me show you what is Krakow. So Krakow npm. So when you go to the website Krakow npm.js, so basically it is there here also, like building. No, not in the browser. Get started. So from here you will start. So basically you can run this command also. So what it will do is will install all of the latest packages which are required along with the Tailwind CSS. So you can also run this command, just copy this and then you can do that. Next you will be able to create a Krakow file. Now that we will do, but what here we will be doing is, next we will install Krakow. So this is the Krakow npm page. So now what is Krakow? Basically, create React app configuration override is an easy and comprehensible configuration layer over the create React app. Now basically what we do is we write npm start. So inside that, if you go to the package .json file, so there is a script running after when you write the npm start. So there is a particular React script running. So this will override that, and what it will do, it will make a little bit of faster, and it will be little efficient to use. So let me just copy this particular command from here, and when we go to our this thing, just the IDE, and now we can paste it here, and now we can install our Krakow. So now what we need to do is, after installing Krakow, you need to configure your package.json according to it. So show you how you will do it. So let me show you how you can do it. So this is what you need to do. You need to wherever is minus, you have to remove that particular line, and wherever there is plus, you need to add that file, you need to add that particular line. Okay, so these three lines you need to delete, and instead of those three lines you need to basically copy and paste these the green lines. Okay, so that we will do, we will copy this one by one, and now we will paste it. So now we'll go to the package.json, and instead of that we will paste all of that which we just saw. Now it will start when we do this. So when we do npm start, so this particular Krakow start will run, and you will be able to start off your server into the browser. So this is what it will do. Now we have already installed the Tailwind CSS on our project. Next we will have to make a Krakow file. So then inside of that Krakow file, just copy and paste, just paste this thing. So inside the project, basically outside of everything, you need to make a file which is the krakow.config.js. So inside the not source, inside this entire project we need to make a file that is the krakow.config.js, krakow.config.js, and inside this you need to paste this particular code, and for tailwind it is. So and we will save it. So krakow.config.js. So don't make any typos, this is really important. And then we will check our project again. So npm start, and it should run our application. Let me close this .json. Yeah, you can see that is Krakow start being written instead of npm start, so it is Krakow start. So that is the first sign that we have successfully installed Krakow. So you can see our server is running using Krakow, and that is on the same port basically. So when I go here, why this is, and it is running, and same as like the previous one. So there is no problem with this. And now we have successfully made our installations of the Tailwind and the Krakow. Now we can go ahead and style our application using the Tailwind CSS, and we can start building our application. So let us go to the IDE and let us start creating things which we will be doing. So the very first thing which we'll do is we will see how to use Tailwind in our project, like how to when we are creating navbar or something like that. So now we will go to the Tailwind website, and here we will see what we need to make. So there are a bunch of things, there are really a bunch of things. So like we are building for React.js, so this is the like thing which we are going to do. So we already installed Krakow, we already added these things to our package.json file, we already created the Krakow config and added these files. Like whatever I was telling, that is already here. The same thing I was also telling the same thing. So this is it. And next, now we will create our navbar. For the very first thing which is there is the navbar. So let us see from where we can find the navbar. So let us, so we will create a navbar or app bar, what we call it at the. So we will be creating our navbar in the next video. Okay, now let's go ahead and create our navbar. So for that we need to create a folder inside the source folder or the SRC folder. So we'll create a folder name as components, and inside this folder we'll be creating all of the navbar, header, footer, and the search and the display the results. All of the components basically will be created inside this components folder only. Now there's no like particular naming convention that you need to name this folder as components only. You can name it whatever you want, but generally like we name it as components, because we are going to store components in it, right? So we will create a file here named as navbar.js, and inside the navbar.js we will get the boilerplate code using our extension, which is the ES7 React Redux GraphQL React Native snippets. So I will press Ctrl Shift P and I'll do the snippet search, and then I will press RFCE, and then I will get the boilerplate code for our navbar component. So you can see there is an import, there is an export, there is a function, and there is a return statement to the function in which we will be writing the JSX. Cool. So far so good. Now next what we need to do is we need to install React Router DOM for the routing and all, and like we will give the link inside the navbar to redirect to the home page. So for that, for using that link property, we will be needing the React Router DOM. So let us install React Router DOM. So first you will need to go to the folder where your project is. So cd projects and Google search, and inside of this you will write npm I, or install, whatever you can write, install or I, both are same, install React Router DOM. So this is the command which you need to execute in order to install the React Router DOM, and this will install React Router DOM within a few seconds. So after typing this command, just hit enter, and you will be getting the React Router DOM installed on your computer or on your project. Okay, so I've already done that, so I will not do, but if you have not, if you haven't, you need to do it. So okay, so I'll remove this because I've already done that. Okay, so next, after doing that, the very first thing which we'll do is we'll import the link. Now what is the link, that I will explain you once. Let me just import it. Link from React Router DOM. So this is the package which we just installed. Okay, so let's creating our navbar. Let's start creating our navbar. So let me remove this, I'll not remove this div, but we will provide some classes to it. Those classes will be related to the Tailwind CSS. So that is it. And next I have created a global CSS file here, and that file is responsible for all the CSS in one file, like the global CSS. Basically it will be containing all of the CSS which we are getting from the Tailwind CSS. So let me just show you what you can do. So just create a global CSS file inside the source folder, and just paste this 3 lines here, and imagine only these 3 lines are important. Only these 3 lines are there for your entire CSS in the project. Only these 3 lines are doing all your CSS. Of course we are getting things from Tailwind CSS, but now we don't need to type any CSS. We just need to provide class names, the corresponding class names according to our need. So that is what we are going to do right now. So we will be providing class names to this. So class name is equal to, and now inside of this we will write padding 5, padding bottom should be 0. Next we'll be providing flex blocks. So this flex, this is exactly same as display flex. Inside we are just providing flex and flex wrap, and next we will provide a small justify. We want to like justify content in between, space between. So sm and justify between and justify center. Okay, next we'll be having the items in the center, align items center. This item center means align item center in the CSS, and then we will be having the border, and that will be dark. So dark, and we will be having the border that should be in the gray color, gray 100, and border would be gray for 200. Now you might be thinking how I know this, all of this thing classes, and also that I don't actually know. I just referred to the Tailwind CSS documentation. Now if we go line by line getting things from the Tailwind CSS, so that will be a little too long, and our video will be too much stretched with that. So like here, if you come here, and let me take you to the Tailwind CSS website, and here when you go to the documentation part, this thing right here, here you have every single thing is there. You this box shadow and all these are all the properties, all the class names which are there. But you can see these class names are there. So these things are actually there on the documentation and you can refer to it. But as of now I will be just teaching you how to write and what to write. I will not be going to documentation and getting each line from there, copying pasting, and that will not do. We'll just go to the main part which is required for us. That is all, that is it. Okay, so after this we will have another div. And okay, so we'll create another div. And div with the class name of, at the class name we'll be having the flex, and we'll be having justify between. But remember, here a small typo can mess up your styling, because everything is like very sensitive according to, if we take a look at the case and all. So please be careful regarding the cases. So there will be a space 5 and this would be the screen. So that is what. Now we'll be having the link. So inside this div only we'll be having the link. So when you go inside this div, and there is a link. Okay, link property. Now link is not self closing, remember. Link requires a closing tag, it's not a self closing tag. Now this 2 is the destination of where the link will take you to. Whenever you click on this link, so where you will go, so that is the destination which is provided inside the 2. And here there will be a p tag. So inside p tag there will be class name. This obviously this is not a normal paragraph tag, this is the Tailwind CSS paragraph tag. So we will write the class name is equal to, and there will be the text of to Excel, and color will be blue. To blue spelling is right, yeah, 500, this is the color. And next we will be having the font as bold, and text be white. And there will be this 2 and rounded, like we want the rounded style. And there will be the dark background and the gray, dark but in the gray color. That means simply means that dark in the gray color. The next we'll be having the dark text be also gray 900. So this is the this number which I am typing here, this is the intensity of that particular class name. Okay, so that is simple. Inside this p we will write obviously we will not write the original or the correct spelling of Google, because we are not creating the exact Google. So here we will give a emoji, and that emoji would be of searching like a magnifying glass or something like that. Let me search on your machine. And okay, this one, yeah. That looks cool, right? This is the like emoji which we are going to use. So now we'll save it. Next we will create some other things. So now we'll create the button, like the button for what? Button for the dark mode, because dark mode button will also be there inside the navbar only. So we will give the dark mode button. So button, and inside this there will be the type of button. Type, right, the type, there would be a button, and on click. Inside this there would be a function, an inline fat arrow function. That function would be set dark. This function will be making use in the app.js. So set dark theme should not be like, it should be opposite of dark theme. If it is light, set it to dark. If it is dark, set it to light. Simple as that. Okay, next we will be having a class name for that as well. So after that we will be having a class name, then we'll be having so text well dark background, and basically that's gray. Like gray looks way cooler, so that is 50. And we'll be having the dark text. So this is for the text. And basically, yeah, if you're saving the time there by not writing the css, the time is going basically here. So if you want to use, then only you should use this tailwind css. Otherwise I would recommend you can go for uh, the normal css. So he will give the border. Now border is the rounded and full, and the like intensity is equal to, yeah, this is the y coordinate. Like for the x coordinate there is 2 padding, and for the y coordinate there is 1 padding. When we hover over it, so we will get a shadow. Okay, shadow that is large. Simple. Now inside this button, what we'll do is we'll create some JavaScript. So there should be the dark theme, and if it is dark theme, then show this icon. What is the icon? Let me make another use of the emoji. So bulb, yes, this bulb, and we will write light. Next we will be writing dark. So inside of this we'll make another use of the emoji. So the moon is right here. Here we will write the dark. Cool, everything is good. Now we will also add a search component, but as of now we will just focusing on the nav bar. Next we will be creating the search component. So let me just save it, and we will see how it's looking in the next video. Okay, so I've just started the server, and there are some errors here. Of course there will be, because we have just created one component and not the root component and all. So the very first thing which we'll do is we'll import the React Router DOM inside our root component, and let's wrap the root component inside that. So we'll do that, and so we'll import it here. Import browser router as router from React Router DOM, and next we'll wrap this app inside the router cut this app from here, we'll paste it here, so no problem with that. Now spelling is wrong. Browser router, yeah. Now these errors will be there till we create our like proper functionality of the dark mode. So leave it as it is. Now what we'll do is we'll create the search component. So the search component will be created inside the components folder only. So we'll go to the components folder, and inside the components folder we will create the search component. So it will be search.js. Now we'll import the boilerplate code with our extension. So that will be Control Shift P and snippet search, and that will be our FCE. So this is a boilerplate code for the search component. Now let us start making our search component. So before we go ahead and create the search component, I would like to install a package, and let me stop the server. Let me clear this all up. So we will install a package from npm that is called the debounce. Now what is debounce? Let me tell you. So we'll go to the browser and we'll check debounce npm, and on this page of the npm website we will see what is debounce. And here you can see that useful for implementing behavior that should only happen after a repeated action has completed. So this will be really helpful for our search component when we type the the keyword and all. So that is why we are using the debounce here. So for installing the debounce there is a command for this. So you can see this is the debounce. Yeah. Okay, so we'll copy this command from here, and you can see the message copied to clipboard. And next we'll go to our code editor, and here we will paste that particular commands npm I debounce or npm install debounce. You can write install or I, both works as same. So I've already installed, so I'll not do that. But if you have not, if you haven't, you can just write this command and install debounce on your project. Okay, so let me first now like this was the debounce, but which I think I told the wrong debounce. I think we will go back here, and it was not debounce, it was use debounce. Use debounce. This is the hook for React. I'm sorry, that was not debounce, it was use debounce. Yes, this was it. So use debounce React hook for value and callback debouncing. So this is used for searching when we'll search, so this will be helpful for that. So you can see this hook compares previous and next value using shallow equal. It means setting an object empty will trigger debounce timer. So if you have compared, so that is all. But when we make use of it, we will get to know it in a better way. So apologies, that was not debounce, that was use debounce. So it just it was there in my mind that it's called debounce. So that, okay, mistakes happen in programming, and that is the way how the things work. So of course you will write of course you will copy that command from here, and this one right here, and then you will go here, and here you will paste that in npm install use debounce. That is use debounce, not debounce. So that was my mistake. Okay, next let us import that debounce. So we'll import the debounce, use debounce basically. So we'll import the use and debounce, and that will be imported from use debounce. Yes, I like this auto import feature. So use debounce, and next we will be importing some more things, but that we will do once we create our global context. Creating global context is the most exciting thing, and that we will do because all of the data will be there inside the use context API. So that will be the global context component, and it will be containing all of the global state variables which we can reuse inside different components as many times as we want. Okay, so next, inside the search we will create some hooks. So first of all, let me import use state from React. Use state and use effect also we'll be needing, so I will import both of them in just one line at once only, so that we don't get an error afterwards. So inside this function we will make two, like not two, basically uh, one hook variable using the use state hook. So that will be const, and inside this there will be the text. Now what is this text? This text is the default search value, like when you don't search anything, so this will be there inside the search box text. So this is the function which is responsible for changing the for altering this particular variable. Like this variable is in control of this particular function. like this function would be responsible for changing or altering or modifying the value of this particular variable. Okay, so now let me give it give it an initial value like use state. So use state, and inside of this there will be a string, and this string would be the default value, like when the user does not search for anything, so this value will be there inside the search box. So for that it was Elon Musk, but now we will do like India. Okay, so in the demo it was Elon Musk, but now we will do it as India. Okay, next what we'll do is we'll create a debounce hook. So const debounce value, and this is equal to the use debounce, and inside the use debounce we will give the text. And now this text is this particular variable which we created in using the hook. Now this is coming from this hook. Okay, next we'll be giving the numerical value here, that is the time basically. So that is the 300 which we'll be giving. Okay, now after the debounce is like declared, we will go to the use effect effect use effect, and inside of this it expects a function, and there will be a function for this, and here there would be a dependency array. Let it keep it empty for now, but here inside the let me give okay, so inside of the use effect we will write the if debounced value, if the debounce value, so set search term, like if there is a debounce value, so it will be set search term. So we have not yet created the set search term, that we will be creating with the help of the context, but use state context, but let me just create it as of now. So we will create it as set search term. So this will be equal to the use state context. Now this is use state context will be imported from the global context when we create it. Although we have not yet created, we are just importing it, so we can just comment it also because it is not yet created. So let us just go back here and set search context set search term, and inside this there will be the debounced value. Now inside this there will be a dependency array, and this dependency array is responsible for execution of this particular function. So here we will write what is the value that should be changed so that this function is executed. So debounce value should be changed in order for this function to be executed, or you can write debounced or debounced also, you can write debounce. Okay, so that is the thing. Next we'll be giving the structure to the search component, so that we'll do in the next video. Okay, so now let's start styling our search component. So like right now we've just given the functionality and the JavaScript and the hooks and all, but now let's start building it, so how it will look and everything like that. So let me just start building it. So we will give the class name first to this particular div, and that will be relative. Position will be relative basically, and small, and this is the margin left basically. Now the 48. Now these are the predefined values. You can go ahead and check on the official documentation, and that is what actually I'm doing. So I'm trying to explain as much as possible. So, and inside of here, so after the medium one there is a small, and that would be empty, and of 10, not backticks, is of 10, and the another one is for 3. So next we will give the input field inside of this particular div. So input, and type would be text, and there would be a value, and there is obviously a class name to make it look little bit better. So there's a class name, and here we will give the class name, so small, and this is coming from the Tailwind CSS basically. 96. So this is how you are going to create this. Now this is the small, and the width is 96, and again there is the 80 width, so each of 10, and there is another dark background which is of gray color. So dark and bg, that means the background gray, and of 200, so something like this. Next we have a border, and that is rounded, of course, rounded and full, and there will be a shadow and an outline will be none. Outline would be none. Yeah, there will be 6 padding, basically padding, text black, and whenever I hover over the component, the search input component, so there will be a shadow, so shadow large. So this is it. Next we will have a placeholder after this, so place holder, and this should be equal to search Google or type URL. So search Google or type URL. So I can even give the magnifying glass emoji here, so that would look even more cool, and that's it. Then we'll have a button, and so what we're going here, like before the button we will have an on change here. So let me give an on change also to this thing. So an on change function, like whenever there is a change, on change, and this is equal to, basically this will be JavaScript, and inside of this there would be, I don't think there are 2 curly braces, there is only 1, and this is the event. This will be set text, and inside of this there would be e dot or event dot target dot value. So this is it. So after this we will have the button. So but there will be a JavaScript, so how you want that button to be displayed. So if text equal to this, and percent this, so inside of this there would be the condition. So let's give it this, and here there would be the button, so the button would be here. Okay, so a button needs a closing tag, of course, and there is the X inside this because you not close it. Yeah, basically you want to empty it. Okay, set text to null, nothing else. Okay, next there will be the type of the button. So type is button. Next we'll have the class name, of course, and the class name would be the Tailwind CSS thing. So absolute, and there is a top of 1.5, and so we'll write a hyphen 1.5. Next there's a right of 4, right of 4, and there's a text of 2xl and text color should be gray, text and gray 500, and there is an on click after this. So on, like whenever we click this button, what should happen? So on clicking the button, we will set text to null. So this is an fat arrow function, an inline fat arrow function. So set text, and that should be equal to an empty string. So that is so good. Next, let me import links also, so that we can give links. So not this link, but right now we have not we'll not import the links. We'll do that, but not now, later on. So that is it for the basic structure of this particular search component. Next we'll move on to creating some more components like footer and all. So we'll see which is the one which we want to create. So I think we should go for links. Yeah, we should go for links basically, because after the search bar there comes the links. So we will create the links now. So let me just create a component inside this. Let me save it first, and inside of this there would be a inside the components there would be a file called as okay, called as links. Okay, my system is a little bit lagging, and links.js, got it. And after the link, now I don't know why my system is a little bit lagging, but we'll get to it. Okay, so is it working now? Taking a little bit time. So here we'll make the basic imports. So we'll use the extension our React ES7 React Redux snippets. So I'll press Control Shift P, and then I'll snippet search, and I'll do the RFCE. And after doing this, we will import the nav link from the React router DOM. So inside of this there will be a nav and link. Basically we are importing this from the React router DOM. Okay, so next what we'll do is we'll define our links. So we have imported the links, and now we will define the links, and this const and links is equal to an array. Basically this is an array. Inside this there will be the URL, and this URL is basically the search URL, and then we'll have a comma, and then we'll be having a text. So inside this there would be a emoji for magnifying glass. Again we are making use of the same emoji. So this, and there would be for all, like when we want to search for all, right? So this is an object. Next we will have another one same as this. So there will be the URL, there will be the news, and there will be a comma, and text. What should be the text? And there should be news. So let me find if I have the news emoji. News, do I have? Not working. Wait, it's not working. Okay, let me search news. Okay, I got it. Yeah, I got the emoji, and that should be in the curly braces, actually not curly braces, in the quotations. Yeah, so this is the news, and next we will have for the images. So let us do it also quickly. and images, and we'll have the text, and there will be for the images. Now for the images I will use the camera images can't find camera. Okay, I got the camera, and now this would be it. Now there will be images. Next we will have the very same thing for the videos, and that is for the videos, and I will give a comma and the text which I want to display. And let me first grab the emoji, and that will be the video, and for that I will use maybe this would be good. Yeah, so that will be videos. Okay, now let us give some functionality to it. And okay, so there are links, and there's a div. So let us quickly give a class name for it. So class name, and the class name would be flex, and there is a small justify around. So basically justify around, and then we'll have the justify between. So this is the space between, basically justify and between, and then we'll have the items to the center, and then we'll have the this top as the margin top as the 4. So next we'll be having the mapping function. We'll be mapping the links, so links dot map, and inside of this there is a function, and inside of that there are some arguments. So url we are passing, and we are passing the text. Cool. So to outside of this there is a fat arrow function, and inside of this there are basically the return which you want to give. So inside this we will give the nav link, and to basically where we want to redirect it, so that's the url. Next we'll have the active class name, and that is basically equal to the text should be blue, and that's of 700 intensity. And next will there be the border, and border basically be 2. So next will be have the dark text, so text, and that is the blue, so blue, and 300 intensity. And the border also would be blue, border should be blue, and that is also that is of basically 700, and there's the padding bottom of 2. So that is it. I think the nav link needs to be uh, nav link needs to be closed, so I will close it here. And yeah, inside of there will be the text, so txt text, and I think we are done for this. We will save it, and that's it. We will create some other functionalities in the next video, so some other components that will be created in the next video. Okay, so now we'll be building some other components like loading and footer and all. So the result component will be coding at the last, because that requires the like the contribution of all of the components, so that will make at the last. So now we'll move on, and we'll create the loading component, like when the data is being fetched from the API, so we want to display something on the screen. So that is basically a loader or a loading component. So we'll create that inside the components. We'll create the loading.js. So loading.js or JSX, whatever you want to call, there's no problem with that. So now we will import the basic boilerplate code of React using our extension. So snippet search rfce, here we got the import, export, and the function. And now we will also import the React loader spinner, but before that we need to install that. So we need to go to the terminal, and inside our project directory, what we want to do is we need to just so here we will type the command, but before that let me take you to the npm website, and we would search for the React loader, basically loader spinner from npm. So it's always a good idea to go to the npm page and look out like what's the size of the package and the downloads and all and the last update. So this is the React loader spinner, and it's a really tiny package. It's not so bulky, it's just of 83 kbs, and you can see there's a code for it and you can customize it according to your needs. I was searching for the display that how it looks. I just wanted to show you, but unfortunately that is not here. No problem. We'll see it live when we are done with it. So what we need to do is we need to install that. I think I told you. No, I did not tell you. So that this is the command npm install react and loader and the spinner. So this is the code for installing, this is the command for installing the React loader spinner. So just type this command inside your terminal, inside your project directory, and you will be able to install this. Okay, and once it will not take more than 5 seconds or 5 to 6 seconds, but before like after it is done, so you can come to this loading.js and then you can just import it. So import loader from, not form. Why I keep on writing form instead of form? Okay, so React loader spinner. Cool. So now inside this div we would give some classes, of course. So there will be a class name, and inside the class name we will give, of course, the flex box we'll be using, so display flex, and we'll be justifying the content to center, so justify and sender. And then we'll have the items, align items center. So basically they have just made the terms a little bit shorter so that you need to write less code. Just that, nothing else. If you know basic css, this is just a piece of cake for you, and cakewalk for you. Oh, I said the phrase wrong. Cakewalk, a piece of cake, whatever. So here we'll make use of the loader. So loader, and this is a self-closing tag. So inside the loader what we'll do is we'll give the type. So type, we are giving the puff. We are making use of the puff loader, and I'll show you how that looks exactly. So after that there would be a color, and like after the type there would be a color to it. So color, and that color would be hex code basically. So I would tell you what is the hex code. So this hashtag, and there is 00 and b triple f b 123. So this is the color, and there would also be a height, and that height would be of 550, and there would be a width, and that is of 80. Cool, sounds fair enough. We will save it. And this is our loading command. Yes, that's it. That is the only thing. Okay, there's a spelling mistake. Now it's better. Okay, now let's go ahead and create our footer. Like our loading is done, we will save it, and now we'll go and create the footer component inside the component. So there would be a footer.js, and next we would import the basic boilerplate code, and let me tell you what it is. So control shift p, react snippet search, rfce, basic boilerplate code, react functional component with an export. So here you don't need to import anything, just react, and then inside this div you need to just provide some class names basically. So class name, and the class name would be text, and then should be the sender, and there should be a padding of 10, and there should be the margin top of 10, and there should be the border at the top. So that is it. Next we will have the dark border, which is the gray color, dark, and border, and that is the gray, and that is for 700. This is the intensity basically. So we'll again give the border, and that is the gray, and that should of 200. Yeah, that's of 200. And Next, we'll have the text which should be displayed inside of this. So we'll write the text as well. And so what should be the text inside this? We'll write, first of all, we'll make use of the copyright symbol. So let me tell you what is the code for the copyright symbol. That is the and sign, copy, and a semicolon. So this would give you a copyright symbol on the browser. So that is 2021, and our imaginary company Google incorporates. So that is in, so that is it. I think that will be displaying our footer component, but as of now we are just creating the components and we are not going to like render it on screen, because we want the context to like fetch the data and distribute the data among the components. So that is why I am waiting for the context to be created, and then we would definitely try to render everything in the browser. Now if we do, there would be some errors basically. So, and yeah, one more thing I missed out, I think. So inside the, I think nav bar, yeah, inside the nav bar we could have now made use of the links, because inside the nav bar, I think not inside the nav bar, I think inside the, what is the, yeah, actually that was search only. So here we would import links. So import and links from links. Okay, and now we'll make use of these links. So that link tag will be opened from inside, like wherever we are giving the links. So here, so it's a self closing tag and we'll give it after this button. So here we'll call that links, and we'll save it. And now we would definitely get the links on our page. So next we'll be creating our, I don't know, we will create the context first or the result first, so that we will see in the next video. And as of now we have created the navbar, the search component, the links, the loading component, and the footer. So like almost the basic structuring has been done, but when the user will search for some keyword, so and the request will be sent to the endpoint. So after that the data would be received, but that data should be displayed on the screen, and for that we will be making use of the component that is called results. So that result component we'll be creating in the upcoming video. So let me just create results, or we can also create the contexts component, because from there only like most of the things will be done, and the results would also be done from there. Yeah, so we'll be creating the context component, like the global context. So we will call it as the state context provider, and that will be the global context, and that would be responsible for distributing data among the components. So that we'll do in the next video. Okay, so now let's create our global context. So we'll create that inside the context folder. So for that, let's go to the source folder or the src folder and create a folder inside this folder. So let me create a folder named as contexts, and inside the context I will create the file that will be state context provider .js. Okay, and inside of this file, so let me get the boilerplate code. So that will be control shift p and the snippet search and rfce. So inside this I have already imported React with the help of this extension. So inside of that I will import also few more things. So that will be create context and use context, and next we'll be using the use state hook. So use state will be imported. All of this I have imported in advance, so that we don't get any errors at the time of using them. So okay, and we will define our context here. So that will be const and state context, and this is equal to the create context and this. So now we have successfully created our context, and now we would go to the website from where we will be grabbing our API. So let's go to the browser and go to the website of Rapid API. So from where we will be getting all the API. So this is the website, rapidapi.com. If you come, and you will be redirected to here. And now what you will do is, for first of all, you need to log into this website to get the APIs and get the API keys, and then use them in your own application. So after you log in, you can log in with Google. I have done the same. So after you log in with Google, what you need to do is you need to search here the Google search API. So you need to just write Google search and the second one here. So this is by the API geek. So this you need to see, and this will be loading your API playground, and this is the by API geek. So this API will be making use in our project. So let it load, let the playground load, and so now it's loaded and we get the testing link. So from here you can test the API endpoint. So I've already done that, that's why I will not see some steps which you might see. So once you click on this test endpoint, you will be redirected to a page where it will be the pricing section, like $0, $2. So just choose the $0 one, $0, that is the free one, and you get, I think, around 500 requests per month in that. So that is okay for testing purposes. And after that you need to come here and see you have the API key, so just copy it and paste it somewhere. And then you have the URL here. So this URL we need to copy. So I will copy it till v1, because after this part, the search part will be dynamic, so we don't want a static URL, right? So we'll just copy it from this till v1. So till v1 we will copy it, and then we will go back to our IDE, that is the VS Code. So after coming here, what we'll do is we will create a variable which will be known as base URL, and we will be calling it base URL, and we will be storing our URL inside this. So this is the URL basically, and this we are going to store here. Okay, next, inside the function we will be passing some props inside the function. So that is an object basically. So the function is the why it's getting, yeah, so the function is state context provider, and inside this we'll pass the prop which will be children. So children will be the prop which we are going to pass inside it. And now what we'll do is we will create some hooks. So the first one would be the results, and we will call it results, and there will be a function which is responsible for altering or changing this particular variable. So after results we'll write set results, and set results will be responsible for changing the results. And you here we'll write the use state, and inside of this we will give an empty array. Okay, so after this what we'll do is we'll set another hook, and that will be for the loading part. So const, inside this there will be the loading, and then we will have the set loading. So set loading, and this is equal to again use state, and inside of this there will be the initial value for this loading. So this is a boolean, so we'll give the value as false for this. So this is the false, and the beginning it will be false. And next we'll be having the another hook, so that will be the search term. So here it will be the search term, and then the function responsible for making changes inside this variable. So after the search term, we will have the set search search term. Yeah. So we will give the initial value for it. Now this is a string basically. So use state and we will give an empty string as the initial value for this. Now see one thing. How do we know what is the data type of this particular variable? How do we know that this is a string or a boolean or an array or an object? How do we know? So the value which we give inside this use state, whatever the value which we pass here, so that value is basically the initial value, right? We are calling it an initial value for that, for this variable. But as like along with the initial variable, what does it imply is that whatever is the type of this variable initial value, that is the type of this variable. For example, here we have given it as an empty array, so that simply means that results is an empty array. Here we have given it the value as false, so this simply means that this loading variable is a boolean type. Here we have given is an empty string, so that simply means that search term is an empty string. So that is what we actually do in order to define the data type. Okay, so now coming back, so now what we will have is we'll have another constant, so that will be the get results for getting the results. And this is basically a async function, so async, and this will be url as an argument. This will be getting as an url, and what it will be returning is that set loading, and the set loading will be the true. And next we'll be having the const, and this res is equal to result basically, and from here we'll be getting fetching the data. So here we will use the await function, async and await. Basically, if there is async, obviously there will be await, and then we'll fetch, and inside the fetch we'll have a backtick, we'll have this dollar symbol, and inside of this there will be the base url. So base url, and next we will have another dollar symbol, and inside of this we'll be having the url. So after this we will give a comma, and inside of this there will be another curly braces, and here there will be the headers. So headers, yeah, the headers, and inside of this there is an object basically. And the first element here is the X rapid API host. You can copy it from here basically, this thing right here, X rapid API host and the rapid API key. So both the things you can just go ahead and copy it. So I will copy this. Next we come here and we will post this here, so just to make things in order. That is the rapid API host, and there is a rapid API key. So this is the key which I am using. Don't use this key, generate your own key and then paste it here, because I will be deleting this key after this project. So generate your own key and then use it. So next we will be having another constant after this, so that will be the data. So const data is equal to await and res dot join, and this is basically joining the data. And next we will set the results, set results to what data, and we will have the set loading to false. Like now our data has been fetched and we don't need to um, like keep on rolling this React spinner after we have finished loading. So why we need that? So okay, so that means we will stop the loading. Next we will come to the return, and inside the return we will not have any kind of div. So we will delete this div, and here we'll provide the parenthesis, and inside this there will be the context provider. So that will be the state context dot provider. Okay, so it gave me a auto closing tag. Now inside this provider there would be the values. So there will be the value, and this will be an object basically. And here there will be, the first thing is the get results, and the second will be the results, and third will be the search term, fourth will be the set search term, and next will be the loading. So these variables or functions, whatever they are there inside this value, so that thing is now set to global. Like these things are now global and they can be used anywhere inside any component where we will import the state context provider. So that is a really good use of the global context basically. We can do the same thing using Redux also. Like Redux is also a state management library for React basically, and we can use Redux also. But if like we are making use of the native concept, that is more better. Like I think that is more efficient and better. So next inside this we will pass the children. So children, and this will be passed, and after that don't forget to export the constant here. So and export, we can just export this from here only, like the, where is our function? Yeah, this function. We can export it inline also if we want, so we can just write it like this, export and function. Basically there's no problem with that. And now we will export the two functions one by one. So here we will write export const and use state context, and that will be equal to a function, and this is the use context, and inside this there will be the state context. Cool. Yeah, so this is basically the idea of the whole thing, and we already exported this all, and now our state context provider is completed, and now we are ready to use all of the values in other components. So next we'll be building the results component, and we'll be making use of all the components inside the results. So see you in the next video. Okay, so now let's go ahead and create the results component, which is responsible for showing us the results inside the browser. So let's go inside the components folder, and here we will create the results.jsx. So results.js or jsx totally depends on you. So it gives you an empty file. So now here we will import our basic code, the boilerplate code with the RFCE, which is the React functional component with an export. And here we will import some of the things like the use effect we'll be needing. So here is the use effect. Okay, so next we'll import the use location from the React router DOM. So use location from React router DOM. Next we'll import the React player. Now we have not yet installed the React player. Now let me show you what is React player and why we actually need it. So we will go to our browser, and now we'll close this, we don't need it anymore. So inside the npm we will see the React player. I will tell you why we need it actually. And so this is just for playing the video. So as I already told you in the introduction video, that we will have the fields for the all, like the results will be for all images, news, and for the videos. So for the videos we are going to install this React player, nothing else. So that is all. what about this? So we will import, we'll install this, we'll copy this thing, and next we will go to our code editor, and here inside the terminal, we'll open our terminal by control plus backtick, and here we will go to our projects, and that is the Google search, and here we will paste that command and we will install this React player by hitting enter on this particular command. So I have already installed React player, but you haven't because you have not installed. So you can just install it by this command. It will take just a few seconds and it will be installed. So once you have installed, we will come back to the coding. Let me minimize the terminal, and now we will start with the coding part. So we will import the React player. So React player from React player. Yeah. So next we will get our global context here. So there will be the import. At this, there will be the use state context from dot slash, then the context, and there will be the state context provider. So this we will import, and next we will go to the loading and we will import the loading. From here there will be the loading, and this we are importing from, this is from the loading. Yes, so from loading we have imported, and next now we will export will not export basically, we have already function. So inside this function, inside this results function, now we will go and create some of the things like the context and all. So here we will say const, and here we will see the results, like whatever we created inside the global context. So it will be results and results basically. Next we'll have the loading, not this loading. Next, after loading, we'll have the get results. So get results. After that, we'll be having the search term. So search and term, okay. And now this would be equal to the use state context. So use state context, basically we are getting all the data. Okay, so use state and context. Next we will set the location. So after this there will be the constant called as the location. So it will be const location, and this is equal to location and the use location. And after this what we'll do is we'll make use of the use effect function or the use effect hook. So that will be use effect, side of this it expects a function, and it will be something like this. So inside the use effect we will give the if statement. So like if there is a search term, so search term, so then this is the empty string, and after that we'll have this curly braces, and now inside of this we will have the location. Now the location dot path name is equal to the this path, which is the videos. And if that happens, so what is that? So if that videos happens, basically, I know I put the wrong thing here. Okay, now there will be the else. So there will be the else, but after this videos we will have yeah, we will get the videos, right? So we will get the results. So get results, and inside this there will be the backticks, and inside the backticks there would be the search slash q is equal to this dollar sign, and inside of this there will be search term. uh, Then after this there would be the and sign, and the number will be 40. So 40 search results should be there. So next, moving on, we will create something more. So after this there will be the else statement, like if this is not true then what we need to do. So there will be the else statement, and inside the else there will be the get results, and we'll have the same thing basically. So we'll just copy this thing from here, but there would be some changes. So inside of this we'll paste this. Basically here we don't need this count, so we'll just delete this thing from here, and we'll write the videos, and inside the get results of the else block there will be some changes. So I will delete this basically from this part. So from this part I will remove this, and we will add a dollar sign, and there will be this curly braces, and inside of this we'll write the location dot path name. So location dot path name, then this everything will be executed. Okay, so we are done with the final statement. Now this is there and this is there, and one more, this is there. So now we will give the dependency array, like when this everything should be executed. So whenever there is a change in the search term, and there is the change in the location dot path name, dot path name, so these functions or these logic will be executed. So next we will move on to the path name, like what functionalities should be taken care of according to the path names and all. So that is the thing which we are going to do now next. So we will write the switch statements, and we will write them in the next video. So we'll see that in the next video. Okay, so now let's move further and create a results component. So after we have declared the dependency array, now what we'll do is we'll give some if and else statements, basically an if statement. So if there is a loading, like if this loading is set to true, then we would return the loading component. So then we would return the loading component, and after that we would come down, and we will give the switch statement, like what happens when we are on what route. So switch, and here the location dot path name is equal to what. So according to that, things will change. And inside, let me just return, we will create our own return and everything. Don't need of this as of now. So inside this switch statement, now what we'll do is we will create the cases. So if the case is search, if this case is search, if the case not equal to base, so if it's search, what will happen? If it's search, what will be the result, or the outcome? So there would be there would be a return basically. What it would look like, let me tell you. So inside the return, so return, and that this there would be a div, and we would give a class name to this div. So simply we are implementing the Tailwind CSS here. So a small pixel, and that is of the 56 basically, and there will be the flex and the flex wrap, and we'll also have the justify between, and justify between, and there is the space y axis of 6, so space y axis is 6. So that is what it is, and next we will have some JavaScript inside the div. So here what we'll do is we'll get the results, and now if we got to the results, and results basically, and we map the results. So map, and inside of this there is so inside of this there would be the link, the title basically, and we will also give an index here, so there will be an index of course. And now this is the function basically, so this would equal to the div which we were going to create inside this. So there is a div inside, and inside there is a class name for this div, and this class name would be, and basically there would be the class name of mid, and there would be the width of 2 by 5, and the width of full basically. So this is what we're gonna do, and we'll also have a key for this div. So there's a key, and this key is equal to the index. So index, and next now we will go inside this, and we will create an anchor tag, so a tag or anchor tag, whatever you want to call it. So there will be an a tag, and href for this would be the link. So not inside the parentheses, but inside of this there would be the link, and after this there would be the target. So target, and this targets will be set to blank, and next there will be a relation, and this will be no refer basically. Relation will be the no refer. So it is giving me an option, but should give. So no matter about that, we can just type it out. No refer, and then there would be a p tag inside of this, and this p tag will be having a class name. Basically, the class name would be equal to text, and text with the class name. Now inside of this there would be a link. That link will be link dot length, and if that is greater than 30, so what will be the case? So that will be link dot sub string, that will be the 0 to 30 basically. This would be giving after we come, so this would be giving the link. So this is it for this, and next we will move on, and after the p tag gets over there will be another p tag. So after this p tag there would be another p tag, and there will be a class name for this p tag. So for this there will be a class name. The class name will be basically text, and the large text, and whenever we hover over this thing, so there should be an underline, and there will be the dark, and text, this should be the blue, and for the intensity is the 300, and there is a text blue of 700 also. So text blue of 700 is also present, and now inside this p tag we'll give the title. Now this is for the title, so title. Yeah, so far so good. And next we would come to the other line of code, and here there is all the closing of all the divs and all. So basically we are done with the search case. Now if there is a search case, we will be getting all of these things and all of that. Now next what we'll do is we will create the images and the, so now after this we will be creating the images case, but now we are not going to type like everything line by line, because that takes a lot of time, and we we sit and start typing like every class name from scratch. That will take forever, and that will stretch the time of our project tutorial so long, and you will also get bored. So what I will do is I will copy and paste each cases, and I'll be explaining them detail, like what is happening and what is that we are doing. So now we will paste the images part. So for that, there is the images case here. So this is the images case which is there. So inside this we are returning the div. So there's a flex box we have used and justify, like the normal css which we are using from the starting of the project. Next we are getting the results, and we are mapping the results with the image link and the title of that thing, and there's an anchor tag which shows us like all of the details, and we can click on this and we can redirect. There is an image of course, and there is a p tag now. So next we will be importing the news section. So now after where it is ending, yeah yeah so after this, now we will be pasting the news section and the news case basically. So this is the news case, and now let me explain you the news section. Basically all are common, all are similar, almost similar. So inside the case there's a div here and with the class name of this, all of that. So that is the normal css or the normal same class name. And next we are mapping out the results according to the news feed, and for that there will be a anchor tag, there's a p tag, and there is another an anchor tag, and there is the source to each and every single link. So that is about the news. And when we come to the end of the news, so after that we would be pasting our next component, that is for the videos. Not the next component, the next case basically. So that is for the videos, and now here it is. So inside of the video there's a flex wrap, and the results of the video we are mapping down. Now of course we are making use of the React player inside of this, because we have installed the React player just for the purpose of using it inside the video section of our results page. So that is what we are doing right now, and we have a default return. So that is the error, that returns an error basically. So that is what we have done. Now that was the last thing which we have done inside inside the result section. So this was our result section, and now we are going to create, or we are going to work on the final destination. So that is the app.js. Like now we will map the data, we will get the data, and we will fetch each and every single data inside our app.js component, and because that is the root component, and from there only things will start to work out, and things will be rendered inside the browser. So now we will move towards the app.js file, and there we'll be creating most of the features which are left out. Okay, now I saved the changes inside the results, and now we would go and like map the data inside our app.js. But before doing that, let me create a routing component, like which will take care of all the routing and all. So for that, I will create another component inside the components folder, and that will be the not routing, the routes.js. Routes.js. So inside the routes.js, I would be having the boilerplate code, and that would be RFCE. Now inside of this, I will be importing some things from the React.dom. So that will be import, and inside this there will be the switch, which I will be, not this small case, the larger case, which I will be importing. Next there will be route, and there will be the redirect. So redirect. So this all will be imported from React router DOM. Next, we will import results from results. So import, there will be the results from and the results basically. Okay, and next we will come to the export results, and here we will create a div basically, like already there's a div, and we will give a class name to this div, and this class name will be equal to p4. And after that we will be giving the switch for switching the URL. So switch, and that switch is required closing tag, and inside this there would be a route is a self, this route is not a self closing tag basically. So route, and yeah, so it requires a closing tag, and here we would give the exact, and the path is equal to slash. So inside of this there will be a redirect which we are going to create. So inside the route there would be the redirect, and this is a self closing tag by the way, and this redirect is to the search, search, search. So that is the search thing, and now we will have the another thing, for the another part where we are going to do the routing. So one route we have done, and the next I will copy the same thing, like let's save it so that it gets refactored. I will copy here, and I will paste it after the route, and then here it would be the search field h. Next, inside the results, inside there would be the results, like that was the redirect basically, but here there would be the results. So let me just make it results. Okay, and yeah, so those are the results which we are using, and after this there will be another route, and that will be the images. So here this is the images, and then the results basically. Then we will have another path, so that will be for the news, and then we will be having the last one which is for the videos. So we'll copy this, and the last one will be for the videos, so that will be for the videos. Okay, we are done with the routing. Now we will jump to the app.js file, and we will get the data over there. So let me close all of the things now. We don't need loading, footer, context, search, text. So here we would go to app.js. Now from here, first of all, we will be importing things. So navbar we have already imported. Now we'll import the footer, not this one, from components, and then the footer. So this we have imported. Next we will import the routes. This just now we created the route. So components slash routes. So we've got the footer, navbar, and the routes. I think that's enough. And next we will have a use state hook. So we will importing the use state from React basically. And now next what we'll do is we'll go to the app, and inside the app there will be the const. This will be the dark theme. So this is the dark theme which we were discussing in the navbar component. So here there will be the dark set dark theme, and this is equal to the use state. Inside of this there will be the initial value, which is the false. So this is the boolean basically. And now when we come to the return, let me remove this all. We will do things from scratch now. So inside this div, there inside this return there is a div. So we would give it a class name, and the class name would be equal to dark theme. Dark theme, is it true or not? So if it's true, then set it to dark, and if it's not true, set it to an empty string. And after that we will have another div. So here we will be having a div, and this will be also having a class name. So inside this div, not inside basically, so here we'll give the class name, and this will be having a class name of dark bg gray, and for the intensity 900 bg gray, and that is the intensity of 100, and the dark, the text. So dark text, and that is for the gray of the intensity of 200, with the black minimum, like black is the single thing, and now minimum height is the, like basically we can give it to the screen. So whenever we go like on the screen, so that should be the minimum height of the screen. So minimum height, that should be of the screen. Okay, so far so good. Now we would get the navbar components. So the navbar would be something like this. Navbar, and inside the navbar there is the property, that is the set dark theme, and basically this will be the set dark theme, and the dark theme is equal to the dark theme. Okay, next we'll be having the routes and the footer. We will be having the routes, and next we'll be having the footer. Now that is it. We will save it. So guys, that is it for the app.js. I think we are done with the app.js, and now we will just pull up. Let me go to the navbar. I think there was something missing in the beginning, so let me just check. Inside the navbar, we would now import the search, and we would pass some props here. So this is the props which is there, which will be used inside that. So that is what we actually did inside the navbar. Other all of the things we are basically okay, and now we will start our server, and we would see if it's running or not. Okay, so now let's go to the terminal, and let me run the command npm start. Now this will start off the server, and we should see our changes live reflecting on the browser. So this will take few seconds. So our server is starting. It is starting the development server. Starting. Okay, so our server is up and running, and now let us go to the browser and see what we see, if our app is running properly or not. So I will go to the browser now, and okay, our server is successfully started. Let me just close this and open it again. Maybe there's that was cached and all. No, let me close these tabs and this one as well. So okay, and now our server is started, and the default value which we provided for the search was India, and you can see we see the results related to India. When we go to news, we should see news related to India, and we see India celebrates 1 billion COVID-19 vaccine doses with song. That is a really good thing. There are some news as well as, now we can go to images and see, check out the images related to India, and we can see all the images related to India. We will go to videos section, and for the videos basically you would see the videos now. Okay, no problem with the supporting and all, but the main thing here is that we are getting all of the data which we actually wanted. So that is exactly what we wanted. Let me try to work with the dark mode. So yeah, dark mode and light mode available. I personally like dark mode. So here comes the end of this project, guys. This was a really awesome and complicated project, and I know you might be facing some difficulties by following up. So I would just suggest you to please watch the videos again and try to do things on your own, try to discover things on your own, because this was a complicated one. I realize it, but you would get through it once you watch the videos two times at least, and then try to code things on your own, and try to get the API data and all everything, and try to see the documentation of the Tailwind CSS. So things will be easier then. So now this is the end of the project. So thank you so much for listening. and following up. If you are there till now, till the last video, congratulations. And just keep learning and keep coding, and everything will happen according to the time which you give to the coding, and how much practice you will do, that much the skill set will be developed. That is it. All the best, guys, and thank you.